Sorry, I'm just taking in when you go to the woods, you become one with the trees, Ronnie.
Yeah, I know. Remember what I talked about for a while too?
Yeah. We're both trees. We're both trees today.
Yeah.
We're trees.
Yeah.
We're trees, Ronnie. We are.
Except I might go get to live with the trees.
Yeah.
And you get to be with the concretes.
Concrete.
The rats.
Concrete trees. The rats. We're the rats. You're gonna be with Adina, swinging between those trees, belting your high notes out, leaving your son behind, or your partner behind because your son died because you accidentally gave him drugs. Whoopsies. I don't know what the plot of that show is.
I don't know what the plot of that show
every
is.
Every time someone tries to explain to me the Tree Adina Menzel show, I'm like, what is going on? What is this show about? She lives in the trees. She's physically living in the trees. Why is she
physically living in trees?
Why is she in the trees? She's sad?
Because there's like researchers. She like runs into researchers who research trees, and they also live there to make work easy.
Well, it's
like
that. It's very similar logic to, if say a town was flooded by a dam bursting, and instead of moving away, the citizens of the town over generations evolved to live in the underwater town.
But they didn't evolve. They just put on swimsuits. That's right. They just put on swimsuits. That's it. They just put on swimsuits. They still can't breathe.
For everyone who's very clueless, this is a play that we both had to work on for a children's theater that made no sense.
You didn't have to do shit on that play. You didn't have to do shit on that play. I had to co-direct that play. That nonsense, that utter fucking nonsense. The children hated it. I hated it. My co-directors hated it. No one liked it except for the goofy man who had commissioned it because he doesn't know what children like, but he was for some reason put in charge of a children's program theater summer camp thing. Welcome to A Song of Spice and Rhani, a Game of Thrones, Song of Ice and Fire podcast for the girls, the gays, the theys, and the well-behaved straights. I am your host, not sick Rhani.
And I am your very refreshed host, who is in the prime of health, Spicer.
Gross. And every single week we shall break down 3 chapters from the A Song of Ice and Fire book series, going over what happens, theories, and of course our favorite deaths. Spicer, speak on death.
Well, I after being in the woods in Connecticut, I roamed the woods, much like Adina, roaming the redwoods, trying to find purpose. I found.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Adina Menzel is a Broadway actress
they know.
Who randomly. I don't know if they know. She randomly starred in an original musical called, I think, Redwood, where she lived in trees.
She lived in trees, and she belts real high notes, and she slingshots across that stage. Baby, what is it about? We don't know, but it's great because
we don't know.
But no, it's but the forest. See, it's about rebirth, right? It's about life, rebirth. Something dies, and the moss, the fuzzy moss, it grows and it eats, and then it birth and life, and trees, Ronnie. Today's episode is brought to you by trees because Ronnie was in the trees on the other side of the country, and then I was on the other end of the country in the other trees, and together our souls met through the trees.
Because we were both in the trees, and then all we heard was For anyone who doesn't know, that's the music from Twilight. But I'm still sick, so I can't hit that high now, baby. I tried, and then it went low, and I went, oh no. Oh no. I don't know why I'm still sick. I'm like 90% better, but I still sound like just slightly off. And did I sound like this and feel kind of shitty on my vacation? A little bit. But you know what? It was still real pretty and green, and maybe I'll move there. I think I'm moving there. So that will be fun. We'll figure out how to keep recording shit and me posting TikToks when I'm moving across the country.
It'll be great. It'll be great. I'll be on your back and you'll say, "Hold tight, Spider Monkey," and it'll be great.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah,
great.
baby. But anyway, we got shit to do right now. And
We
by
got
shit to do, I mean we got to talk about chapters from A Game of Thrones. This is the book we're reading, Spicer. If you didn't know, everything is great. Let's do some reviewing. So this week our chapters were Dany 6, Catelyn 8, and Tyrion 7. So let's start with Daenerys 6. Dany, Dany is just trying to live, man. She starts off the chapter having an argument with her husband, Khal Drogo, after they've finished doing the do with George describing just a little too much of Khal Drogo's anatomy. It's fine. But anyway, Daenerys is like, yeah, so Westeros is on the other side of the ocean. And Khal Drogo's like, yeah, but the world ends when the ocean starts. So I don't care. She's like, but like the Iron Throne is over there and your son is entitled to it and I'm entitled to it. So like, can we try? And he's like, no, I go hunt lion. Bye, woman. And he leaves. And she's like, okay, fine, fuck it, whatever. And then Jorah is like, yeah, I'm here. I'm not creepy. And Dany's like, yeah, I believe that. How do we convince him to like let us go? And he's like, no, we'll figure it out. Don't be like your brother. He was an idiot. And Dany's like, I'm not my fucking brother. Jesus Christ. And then they're like, let's go to the market. So they go to the market and they're eating food. And they're like, oh, okay, this is kind of nice. But oh no, there's a skeevy man who tries to poison her. And Bajora catches on to it, because he's secretly an informant. And whoopsie.
she goes, "How did you know?" And he's like, "I don't know."
I don't know. I know things. I know things. Don't worry about it. And so anyway, so they capture the guy who was trying to poison her. They take him back to Vaes Dothrak. When Khal Drogo shows up with the lion that he caught for Dany, he's like, "I got you a lion." She's like, "Well, I was almost murdered." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And so she explains what happens. And then he's like, "Fuck it. Fuck these men who tried to kill you, my woman, and my child. I'm gonna go across the ocean and I'm gonna kill everything. I'm gonna assault everything. We're gonna burn it all down for you, baby. It's all for you." End of chapter. Oh wait, I forgot a part. There was a part when she was sad and thinking after Khal Drogo said no or something. Fuck. She tried to heat up the dragon eggs, but nothing bad happened with the dragon eggs. Like the fire didn't do anything. They didn't ruin it. But she's like, oh damn, I don't know. I thought that would work for some reason. I wonder why. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Spicer, thoughts. What do you think? Tell me things. This is aggression is energy, Spicer. Use it. It's propel us forward. We have a narrative.
No, why I didn't do good in improv. Yeah. Also, I love how literally he gives us you come into my house, you talk to me this way, you don't know what I've been through, what I had to do to get here. He just turns into Tyra, like Khal Drogo.
Yeah.
Tyra.
This is what I want.
Yeah. Remake Tyra plays Khal Drogo. The only acceptable option. But no, I know we have beat this dead horse so many times, so I don't want to bore people with this point because we have more than made our point on this topic, but it's just ew, that first paragraph. It's just because it just felt gratuitous because we get it, they did the do, she is the child bride, isn't it scary and sad? Did I need to hear about his penis? You know what I'm saying?
No.
I didn't need that. I did
not need to hear about his wet member. That wasn't on my bingo card. That wasn't on my to-do list. That wasn't on my wish list. I didn't need to know, but here I am.
I mean, the line that got me is the opening line of his or when he had taken his pleasure.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase.
Yeah, I would. Like sexuality.
Also, This is one, this is so like out of left field. I apologize. That phrase I feel gets used in the series multiple times with like multiple like male POV characters
Mm-hmm.
when they're like done. And like every time I hear that phrase, my immediate thought, I'm like, so she didn't finish is what I'm
Oh no,
hearing.
exactly,
Right?
right.
Okay.
No, 110%. Like they're like, well, I am good. It has happened.
Yeah. You're not gonna double check if she needs no. Oh, you think she's fine. You're not gonna ask her no? Okay. Sure.
No, it's
Whatever.
fine. I'm I am the Carl Drogo. I gotta go hunt a lion. Ah.
I feel like that specific phrase, like taking pleasure, taking his pleasure, gets used in like a bunch of like Tyrion chapters later on, and every time like Tyrion, you didn't help her out.
That
You didn't do
greedy,
nothing for her.
greedy man.
Yeah.
Like girl. Yeah. I also do love how we immediately Jorah is like, don't be dumb like your brother. Don't
No.
don't be dumb like your brother, because she's like, "Mer, these things that I am entitled to," and he's like, remember, literally, but one chapter ago, your brother's head was melted."
But I do like that she's like kind of insulted by it. She's like, well, I'm not that dumb. Come on, like give me some credit.
I'm not walking in with my sword drawn at the company dinner.
Yeah, no. Like I'm saying this to you, Jorah. Like I'm spitballing with you, the person who I know I can actually talk to about this in like a chill way. But Jorah's like, "Oh, be careful, you Targaryens." Like Jesus Christ, like fucking hell.
Well, it is on that point. I think one of the interesting, like, sort of threads of this chapter, and sort of one of the larger things we see with Dany is like the conflict between like her desire to have a home, and also the conflict, or it's in conflict with her other desire to carry on her family legacy. She is fully burdened with the family trauma, because we get the whole like, I am the last dragon now. It's me. My brother is dead. My line ends with me. Right? Like, and we get that whole like POV and sort of insight into herself, and we start to. It's interesting. You start to see how these two things are in conflict, and how she tries to justify in her head. It's like she's like, well, if I want home, I have to actually carry out the family legacy and take the throne, because that's my home. But then we get the irony of like, but that's not her home, right? Because where is the place that she feels the most comfortable? The Western Market, where you have all the stuff from the free cities where she grew up in, right? Like that is where she feels at home, and she talks about like the food. And there's even like that beautiful moment of where like she has the sausage, and she's like, this tastes different, and they're like, oh well, usually I use pork, but we don't got no pork here, so I used horse meat. She's like, oh, it's not the same, right? Like we've all had those regional delicacies. Like the amount of times that as a North Carolinian, the amount of times I have been fed pulled pork and been like, it's North Carolina style, and I'm like, what? No, it's not. It's not the same. And then I get pissy about it. So it's like, I get it, Dany. Your favorite meat product was not prepared in the way in which your home prepared it, and so therefore it is bad. I get it. I am there with you. 1 star on Yelp to the sausage vendor.
Ouch! You leave that sausage vendor didn't do anything to you. How dare you give them a 1 star? What's wrong with you? You privileged elitist piece of shit, trying to ruin someone's livelihood. God damn! How dare you?
But also not the Orientalist gaze in this chapter. Not the Oriental.
Yeah.
It's she's coming in strong. I think that I was the one that the wide-eyed man of YT. I went, ooh, George, George.
We're really getting close to the line here. We are towing it. We were just like, oh, hey, how much can we really just like a little bit more? No,
because some of them are like fantastical, and like that's the idea. It's like, oh, it's fantastical. It's like, because some of like the free cities, it's like, oh, like their weird colored hair, or ooh, the wizards from the Shadowlands, or ooh, like this, that. It's like, okay, this is fine. The idea is it's fantastical. But then sometimes it's like, and the men with the almond-colored skin from the far-off land with their monkey-tailed hats. And I'm like, okay, George, I'm gonna need you. We have found the line. We have found the line. We need you to pull it back.
Please Please, please, no more, no further, please.
Please, I beg of you, George. I beg of you, George. God, it's
Well, so a couple things I want to mention. One, I really like how we get kind of how we were talking about, like how Dany isn't really Westerosi at this point. Like she
no.
hears a lot from her brother, but I love the little detail that we get when she is talking with the merchant in Valyrian, and he asks her and goes like, "Oh, you're Tyroshi," because like her accent doesn't sound like a Westerosi very much. Like maybe like a little bit when she's speaking the common tongue, but like when she's speaking Valyrian, like she doesn't sound. She sounds like she's from the Free City. So
Yeah.
I thought that that's like another fun little like detail of like her like kind of being othered from this place that she feels this connection to, or she feels like she should have this connection to. I thought that was very interesting. Um, and then specifically the other thing I want to mention, the whole scene with her like I have an impulse with these dragon eggs. Let me do something about it. I thought was very interesting because we've had like a couple of those like dragon dreams where like she knows that they're like I don't know. There's something important about these eggs. There's something important about these eggs. She has this connection with this like dragon in her dream. She doesn't know what any of it means, but she's like starting to kind of like almost piece together like, okay, I don't know what this means, but like let me start like going where my body takes me, you know? Like I feel an impulse. Let me see what happens when I like indulge it. And like nothing bad happened this time when she like tried to like put the egg in the coals. It didn't hatch though, but like something about it like called to her, and I thought that that was like a very interesting way that she is like interacting with like prophecy adjacent things.
Yeah.
Because like I think we've talked a little bit about like how like prophecy, if you like try like meddle with it, like the common trope, like it fucks you up. So like to for things to actually work out, you kind of have to do it like not really knowing what you're doing. You're just kind of going off of instinct. And so seeing that like Dany's starting to develop these kind of like instincts that she doesn't quite understand, I think is very interesting as like a workaround to that like prophecy kind of like trope.
Well, it's like because you know, like what is the idea of like what is like the idea of prophecy? Like where does that come from in like the human psyche? And it's literally instinct. Excuse me. It's like it's the idea of like, you know, I feel like this is something that is going to happen, right? Like I feel it in my bones, right? Like I don't have any concrete evidence, and like you know, in religion and stuff, it's developed more into like the gods or the spirits or the whatever like spoke to me or whatever. But like at its core, it is instinct, right? It's the idea of like I feel impelled to do this thing or compelled to do this thing because my like some part of my DNA is like speaking to me, and so the Valyrian DNA is speaking to her and being like, "Hey, put that egg in somewhere hot. It needs to hatch, dummy." Like, but also something that it was interesting to me that's interesting to me about Dany's character that is like discussed in this chapter is the idea of like a person without a home and like a person without a state, really, like I remember like in high school there was this one girl who her name was Camilla, and she was from Honduras, and she was like in our theater program. We used to talk all the time, and she talked about how like she's like, there are some people I know who like are totally stateless, in not in the sense of like they don't have, you know, legal recognition, but like because their parents are like from this state or that state, and then they moved to the US or they moved to somewhere else, and then like they feel othered in America because they're like, well, we are not part of this culture, like because we're kind of insulated in our own family culture. But also like I feel othered from my state that I come from because I have never been a part of this. That's a foreign land to me. And so like I can't, there's a Spanish word for it. If anyone knows what this word is, it's like a term that I think Central Americans use that like literally means like a person without a flag. Like I think that's what it translates to. So it's like a person who's like they they don't feel like they belong in either, because they've like grown up in the United States, but like they feel other there, but like they've never been to Guatemala or Colombia or Mexico or Honduras or any of these like Central and South American countries. So like they don't know. And so it's like Dany, I think, is like a very similar situation of where it's like it's this woman who like literally was a what's the word I'm looking for, an immigrant who was forced out of their country, refugee.
She's a refugee.
Yeah, she's literally a refugee, right? Like Dany is literally a refugee. She has come to this new country. She feels othered in these other countries, and so like that is her central conflict, is she just like wants home. But then like it's interesting because it's tied into this idea of like, oh, I have to like maintain the family honor. I must achieve that, and like that's how I shall get home. And like that's her tragic flaw, right? Is she could just make home anywhere, right? And but you know, the universe has other plans for Dany. Like, so yeah, the interesting sort of topic that we have broached a lot in this chapter that I thought was fun. It was interesting.
And also just the way it ends, I thought was very satisfying. Up until this point, you know, and again, I hesitate to talk about like Khal Drogo and Dany's relationship as if it was like a normal relationship, because it's not. But up until this point, you know, there has been this like Dany like trying to like kind of like assert herself more in his presence, and like her like gaining like a little bit more autonomy, a little more like acknowledgement from him. And so I do love that we start the chapter with this like flat out denial from him. Like he's putting on like, oh, I'm the man of the house and I say what I say goes. We're not doing any of that shit. And her being frustrated, and then her like explaining like, this is what just happened to me, and this is not an isolated incident. This is going to be like what my life is like, and this is why I am saying we should go and like, you know, reclaim my birthright, because it's going to be it's one of the two options. So you, husband, man in charge, you get to pick, but these are the options. And he like acknowledges like her position, like, no, okay, you know what, like, no, you are right, this is what it's gonna be, that's fucked up, we're gonna make a different choice, we're gonna get you like what you're owed, because I now value that. And I thought that's kind of nice. I'm trying to hold on to the nice things.
Yeah. Well, it is also funny because like the way that whole, because I remember this monologue delivered beautifully and fantastically in the TV show by Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. And there is a great like the way that he delivers it, and also like the way it's written, because it's very similar to what it was in the TV show. It's so fascinating to me because it's like we've talked a lot about like yikes war crimes. This book being just yikes war crimes.
Yeah.
But he's talking about war crimes, and you're like, yeah, go commit some war crimes. Go commit some war crimes, baby. Yeah, you tear their castles down.
It's like he's like so good at getting you like hyped up, and you're like, yeah, you bring them down brick by brick. Yeah, you attack those men in their iron suits. Wait, what are you gonna do to the women? What?
The children?
Oh no,
the children?
No, not the no slave. No, please, can we not?
Yeah. I want you to slay.
I was with you.
I want you to slay, not slay.
Yeah.
We'll just slay on the runway, Khal Drogo, not slay women and children. No, it is, yeah. So it was just an interesting bit with that. They get you going, they do. Also, I do love in the grand tradition of George R. R. Martin describing fat people and food. We also get the description of the my friend people, like with our wine, our little wine vendor. And I just like, this Dawn. He's like, oh, you must try this Dornish wine, very good. And then Dany's like, oh, I'm actually from. He's like, oh, you're a princess. This Dornish swill? No, you need this.
Yeah, we're really just towing that line. We're really just like, no, it's fun, but these are.
These are tropes that do not.
These are tropes
that do not exist in a vacuum. So it's
yeah.
But yeah, no,
fine. What are you talking about?
But it's also very satisfying at the end. I do love the line that like Khal Drogo have where he's like, he's like, oh, if he was a real man, he would have run towards you, not away from you, which is
Mm-hmm.
which is so funny. And then his punishment being he has to walk naked, tied to her horse, and it said he would be fine, comma, so long as he kept up. Like, ugh. Maybe death is better. Maybe death is better.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Death will come. It's just at what point, sadly,
Yeah.
for that guy. Which, oof, that is not how I want to go.
No.
But yeah,
No.
no. It was a very just that like little flavor of violence at the end, being like, oh yeah, this is going to be a turning point right now for Daenerys' storyline and her discovering like, ooh, what does violence mean? In the context of pursuing my goals.
Yeah, we're gonna have to crack a few eggs, and I guess we're gonna start with this wine vendor that tried to kill me.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways, those are my thoughts.
Yeah, same. So let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay.
That's gonna be her theme now. Every time it's a cat chapter, I'm going cat 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 cat.
So yeah, we're back. And if you couldn't tell, we have moved on to Catelyn VIII. So let's do. Goddamn.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm pussy, bitch.
It's the first day of Pride, so I will allow it. But let's do a quick recap. So Catelyn Stark is getting to Moat Cailin, the ruins,
The ruins,
the ruins, which are apparently still really good for defending the North. Which is why we still use them. But yeah, Catelyn had been heading up north to Winterfell, but then when they got to White Harbor, which is the seat of House Manderley, they're like, oh yeah, no, Robb called the banners, we're heading out. And she's like, oh, well, fuck. Okay, I'll go with you guys. So she followed the Manderleys. They get to Moat Cailin, where Robb has assembled his army. They see each other. Robb is growing a beard because he's a man at 15. Good for you, bro. Cool. I'm glad you could do that.
The peach fuzz is really coming in. The peach fuzz is really
Yeah. It's really strong. We're really like firm. But I don't know what that was. I'm tired, y'all. So fucking tired.
Keep going. You're doing amazing.
Shut up! I'm going. But anyway, so finally he talks to his mom alone, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't really know what to do." And she's like, "Well, you better figure the fuck out what you're gonna do because you called all the banners here. You called them all here. You ready to go? They're all looking at you. You made yourself the battle commander. So start making some decisions and start like sticking to them because this is the moment where you either like save us or kill us all." Got it, 15-year-old? He's like, "Fuck, mom. Okay, fine." And so she helps him basically like work out like what his plan is, which ends up like being good. And she's like, cool, great. We're thinking this through. We love this. And it's okay. They got Brynden, the Blackfish with them. They got like all the hosts together. And so now they have a plan. They're going to head down south. They're going to split up the army a little bit. He's going to send one of it down towards Tywin with Roose Bolton at the helm because Roose Bolton is scary. And then the rest of them are going to go and try to help River Run because River Run is going to be like one of the next targets. And yeah, that's the end. Spicer, what you feeling in your heart?
I would like to call this chapter "Cat and the Fatties" because did you know, Rhani? Did you know that those mermaid bitches?
Those mermaid bitches.
They be fat. They be so fat.
They be fat.
Fat. Like, ooh, we gotta make fat jokes. We gotta make fat. I do love the fat joke that we get of, because he makes the joke of like, oh, if I had known another war was going to happen, I wouldn't eat so many eels. And then later George goes, and his son was only one eel shy of his father.
So funny. It's so funny. Okay, this is we defend Catelyn all the time. one of Catelyn's negative qualities, which I still love, is just like her like focus on looks
Oh
and
yeah.
how like she. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Like, is it bad? Yes. This is like not a great character trait, but like we all got them. And the way that she like will fixate on like these fat ass Manderleys, these fat ass mermaid boys, just being like, oh god, their poor horses struggling all along the way. It's so funny. I don't care, and I'm fat, so I'll laugh at it. You don't tell me shit. Don't tell me shit.
Went, God, George, just I know you're talking about your own experience here, but god damn it.
I there is something like I don't. This reading these books has made me almost like paranoid about my own writing. I'm like, do I when I like talk about fat people, I don't talk about them like this, do I? Am I being like, am I
Fat,
being this like
fat,
self-hating?
ugly bitches. They're
Oh
so
god,
fat they can barely get on their horses.
so funny, so funny, and it's
Yeah.
bad, but I don't care.
But I'm here for it. Every time we get a new fatty, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
bring on the fatties, bring on the fatties, bring on the girls, bring on the dolls.
yes.
But no, also I did write, aw, her realizing that Robb is a man, or
Yeah,
becoming a man, I should say, because he is
becoming a man. Mhm.
15 years old.
Yeah, and he's so god the 15 of it all. Um but like no, like he is doing the thing, which is like very impressive and needs to be commended, which is why I think she goes in like kind of hard on him, being like, "Hey, you're doing it, so like you're now in the danger zone. Let's be for real here, okay? We're not playing anything anymore. So if you want that, like skedaddle and we'll put one of the other guys in charge."
Yeah, we
Because
did
no,
get a.
because he's like doing the thing.
I mean, it's also it's funny because it's like the way I put it is she's the world's best momager. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like she gets out that bob wig and she's like, What are the battle plans?"
Yes. She's like, okay, what have you been doing? Please, let's start going through this right now. And again, I do like how we see him like start to succeed, and then her being like, good, okay, push him a little further, get him to like take it the whole way, and like all the sweet little references to like, okay, I'm hearing a little Ned in there right now. Oh, I'm hearing a little Ned come out in this moment. This is great, cool. It's like it's this like wonderful like mother son relationship where they're like both kind of like pushing each other and like they're both feeling themselves succeed, and there was something just like very like, aw, like this is sweet about the whole interaction.
Especially because it starts off so strong with her being like, "Hey, dumbass, why didn't you appoint one of the men who have been to war before to, I don't know, fight the war?"
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah.
"Oh," and she's like, "But we can't do that now because like
No,
then you'll look weak, and then if you do become lord, they'll never trust you again." Like, so I guess the 15-year-old is leading us to war.
yeah, baby. It's fine because that's the theme, Spicer. How does war ruin children? Example number one: Robb Stark.
Robb Stark and oh god, truly following in the footsteps of his father, a teenager forced into
Yeah.
war. Like,
Mm-hmm. No, it's and like it's so sad because I was just talking about like, oh, like it's like kind of sweet and inspirational like when they really like start going and like there's synergy, like they're coming together and it's all working. But like if you take like a step back from there, like it's still so depressing. Like the fact that like, oh, this child is now being forced to into this position because of this like confluence of events that's fucked up and unfair. That's probably not going to end well because of that.
yeah, well, and yeah, it's real sad because it's like you see the writing on the wall a bit at the beginning here, and the fact that they get as far as they do is impressive. Like,
Yeah, but and we're not that far ahead yet. But yeah, no, all right, Jesus. Um, I do like that we start getting like hints of the personality types of some of the lords around us, especially like all the Roose Bolton stuff. he is so creepy. He's so creepy. And like I think the actor does a great job in the TV show, but there is something about like the way it's written. It feels so like creeping, like just the way that he speaks so softly that everyone has to like lean in to listen to him. Like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that, not one bit.
Well, and my other favorite little personality trait that we get again is fucking Theon being a pick me, like, and fucking Catelyn Stark being like, "Hey, I'd like to speak to my son," and everyone but him leaves, and she goes, "Alone."
You too, Theon. You are not my child. Please leave.
You are the creepy child that is here due to the product of war.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
I did not pick you.
Yeah, fuck you, Theon. You fucking pick me. Like, it's not about you. It's. I also love how Theon's the one. They're like, oh, Theon says that we should go and attack Lord Tywin, and Catelyn's like, I bet he did say that.
No, that. God, Theon, shut up. But I will say, we do get like a very interesting development here because we get the acknowledgement that like Catelyn's not going back. Like this whole time, Catelyn has been trying to head back to Winterfell and keeps being interrupted every step of the way so she can get back to the kids that are alone there. Yeah. And it's like when she realizes like how far things are and like, oh, this isn't I have multiple children who are all in danger, multiple members of my family who are all in danger, like not just like my current house, my married house, Stark, but like the Tullys as well. Like I think it is best if I like stick with the army because we assume, sadly, Bran and Rickon are like the safest they can be. Like no one's getting past Moat Cailin, so that's not going to be an issue. And though it puts me in more danger, I can like have an active hand in helping Robb like navigate what is surely to be like a dangerous next little bit as he figures out both like militarily and politically what he needs to do. And then like my family who I grew up with, like my dad is dying and is soon to be like surrounded and under siege, and then my brother is I think like also currently surrounded and under siege. Jesus.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. Doing amazing, sweetie.
Oh my God. But yeah, so she's just like, okay, no, we're fully changing the plan now. Like I am taking the decision into my own hands. I'm going to be like a presence during this war, and I'm going to like have an active hand in it, which I thought was an interesting development for her.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, interesting. That's all I got.
Thank you. Thank you, Spicer. I appreciate that. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hell no, you said it. You said the words. You said the words good.
I know.
You said the words real good,
I said them good. Even when I was choking?
Even when you were choking, baby.
Wow.
The bestest boy.
You're a supportive friend. Thank you.
I watch all the content. I like, share, and subscribe.
Please make sure you're doing that for this podcast because I'm dying and I'm still recording it for you.
It's dying up here.
Anyway, yeah, that's all we had to talk about for this chapter. We're going to take one more break and we'll be right back.
Ooh.
Goodbye. And we're back. Moving right along. We are at Tyrion VII. So, Tyrion, with the help of the mountain clans that he has made friends with, make it back to the Inn at the Crossroads, which is the inn where Tyrion was abducted. Oh no, there's been some changes since he was last here, like the innkeeper who's now hanging from a tree. Jesus Christ, we are really brutal, aren't we, Tywin? Because yeah, Tywin's army is now all here. Because the Lannisters are getting ready to fuck up the Riverlands, because that's what the Riverlands are there for. And Tyrion's like, "Hey, gotta go find Daddy-o. Tell him I'm alive." He eventually gets in to see his father. His father is there along with Kevin Lannister, Tywin's brother, Tyrion's uncle, and they're all talking about war plans and shit and war stuff. But oh no! Then all of the clansmen, they burst into the room because they're like, we are free men. We talk. Free men talk to each other. We communicate. We don't take orders from people. We hear your opinion. You hear my opinion, and then we hash it out because that's just like what it means to be free. I'm fine. But anyway, so then Tywin is like, I can handle these bitches, and he does, and he like very smoothly like manipulates all of them. He's like, okay, you fight for me. I give you what my son promised you and more. It's gonna be real fun. You'll get all the honor in the world. Sound good? And they're like, yeah, sure, fine, but Tyrion has to fight with us. And Tywin, being Tywin, was like, I have no problem with that. Tyrion can absolutely fight with you. Please do so. End of chapter. Shebang, boom, pop.
Yeah. I do love, or not love, but find it very funny that they call him the man boy or boy man. The boy man. Also, once again, we are 2 steps away from Ooga Booga.
It's you know, like if it was here's the issue with like George. It's like we're seeing him toe the line on too many fronts. Yeah. Is the issue. Because like it's in Dany's storyline and like here with the Mountain Clans, it's like if it was just one of them, I could be like leery eyed, be like, okay, but like all of them are just like a little too close. I'm like, God, dude, I'm just worried. I'm always scared you're gonna turn it into that. Don't.
It's goddamn it. We are 2 steps away from Ooga Booga. And, like, I get it. They're supposed to be more like, ooh, they're like the Celts or whatever, right? Like, that's more the vibe, or, like, European barbarians, right? But still, we are 2 steps away from Ooga Booga. Like the way
it's like the broken speech pattern.
You come
like,
with
Shagga,
us.
son of Dolph, come with us. Go feed 2 goats.
Feed 2 goats.
Yeah.
I do love that motif. I do love that motif of I cut off your manhood, and Tyrion's like, we know, feed it to the goats. Like, we get it. Like,
oh God, but yeah, I love this chapter. Is a wonderful like setup chapter because we are meeting the big players. We're meeting the Tywin of it all. Tywin Lannister in the flesh for the first time, and boy is he scary. Boy is he a terrifying man.
When it said that Tywin was a man who did not do half measures, and when he began losing his hair, he just told his barber to cut it all off. I saw myself.
I would like to remind you, Spicer. I would like to remind you that when you noticed that your hair was going, you went, what if I can hold on to this for another 3 to 4 years? And we'll do a comb over that is just slowly shrinking until there's just a stripe on top of your head. You are not Tywin Lannister. Tywin would have taken one look at you and be like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? And they would like bitch slap you and throw you into a fucking cave cell in his castle mountain.
Where maybe Jesus. I'm still alive.
Where maybe you're still alive. Gee, that whole thing. Oh my God.
That bit of
Tywin, every detail that we get about Tywin is like so like sinister and austere and paints such a specific picture of this like cold-hearted snake of a man, and it is it's so I'm gonna say something here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Charles Dance, the actor who plays Tywin in the show. He is too good.
He's too good, and it's such a different flavor.
Yes, because like Charles Dance is like, there is still like a bit of warmth to him, and so you get the sense that like he cares in a twisted way. Versus like Tywin, I don't think Tywin feels in the books. I don't think Tywin feels anything.
No.
This man does not seem to like have any sort of like base appreciation or like feeling for like his children, for what's around him. Everything is so like cold, calculated. What is to the benefit of the house and what is not, and anything. And whatever the answer is, he's gonna go. He's gonna go with it. Be damned, any of the people involved. Yikes.
Yeah, no, it's a much more cold and calculating person we get in the book. Like it is not. There's more personality, is the way I would describe it with Charles Dance. Like Charles Dance plays a human being, right?
Yeah,
which I think is I think it kind of, I would push back a little bit, and it's like I think it's kind of impossible to play this character on screen, like
sure.
In like a convincing way, right? Without looking like you're Bob Evil, right? It's like it's easier to read these types of like cold, calculating characters in a book as opposed to like see them in a visual format. Like I, as the audience, need to somewhat empathize with this character, even though they are like the big bad, clearly. But it's
see, but that's what I find interesting though, is because I feel like kind of the trade-off and the issue, and I agree completely with what you're saying about like this is an impossible character to play in a different medium than this, because like I think the Tywin of the book works as a book character. I do not think he works as a film character, which is why like I totally understand like the direction that is taken with like Charles Dance and stuff. But I will say I think the unintended consequence of that is because we end up liking Tywin just a little bit more in the context of the show. The things that he does that are still just as monstrous as they are in the books, our feelings towards him, I think, kind of soften our feelings towards those acts. And like, just because like remember like a few chapters ago we learned what did Tywin do to Tyrion's first wife Tysha. That whole horrific business. But like when I see and then when I meet the Tywin of the book, I'm like, yeah, no, this man definitely did that because he has no soul. But then I meet like Charles Dance, I'm like, well, he was just trying to like, not me personally, but like there are so many like weird, again, because I'm in this like fandom in the online space, whatever, like there are so many like weird like dude bros who have an obsession with like specifically the TV version of Tywin Lannister and think he's like the badass, best like thinker, best whatever. Yeah, I know. Which I'm like, did you not? I mean, even in the context of the show, like it doesn't work. So obviously he's not. But whatever. But no, they like love him, and they end up like okaying a lot of the shit he does because like he gives them like the wiggle room to do so.
Sure.
I don't know. I think it's an interesting like thing where like just like the difference in portrayal like can shed a different light on like some of the actions. All I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I mean, to me, I see what you're saying. I don't think that, but I also think I'm not in those same spaces, so like I'm not being like the smartest boy, and it's like no, he gets killed on the shitter. Like guys, like. He went the way of Elvis. Yeah. Also, I do love the dynamic though between Tyrion and Tywin. It is fascinating because I will say it is a different flavor than in the TV show because like in the book, one, I do love the line of when the barbarians all run in and they're like, ooga booga, we must be part of your council. And then Tyrion's like, can I keep them, Dad? They don't eat a lot. It's just funny. I'm like, it's a funny one. But I think what's so fascinating is like in the book, I feel like it's a lot more like Tyrion sort of being the same as he is with everyone else. And like I'm going to like use my like wits and charm and whatever, and even though like I kind of know I'm pissing him off in this moment, but like I am kind of purposefully doing that. Whereas in the TV show, I feel like this is our first Tywin Tyrion chapter, so I understand there's more to come. But like I feel like in the TV show there's a lot more moments of like Dada, Papa, right? Which like I don't know if that's Peter Dinklage, I don't know if that's the writing, I don't know, like you know what I mean, like But it would
no. I'm totally like. I totally understand what you're talking about with that. I think that again, I think this goes back to kind of like the portrayal here. It's like the Tywin of the book is so cold, and I think Tyrion is aware of that. That he's like he's not trying in the same way, like because I don't think like the Tyrion of the book sees like, oh, there is no like relationship with my father. This is the relationship,
Mhm.
so I might as well continue being like flippant and whatever, just like I am with everyone else, because like it's not going to change. There's no like opportunity for growth. Whereas like in the TV show, whether it's the writers or Peter Dinklage or whatever, like you do feel that like yearning
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah.
which I think you'll eventually get a little bit more in the book, but like I think Tyrion is just like a little more pragmatic here. He's
Yeah.
just like, no, my dad is like a cold-hearted monster. So like there's nothing I can do that's gonna make him suddenly proud of me.
Yeah.
Or at least at this point. I think what's interesting is that will start to change when Tyrion actually does start getting things accomplished. And then when he doesn't get that, like, any form of praise at all, he will start to get frustrated. But, like, he doesn't start, like, feeling like he's owed anything until he has accomplishments,
Sure.
which maybe is a different flavor. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think now that we've kind of put it into words, I think it really is Peter Dinklage's like portrayal, like because once again, like
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage is humanizing Tyrion a little bit more, and like Charles Dance is humanizing Tywin a little bit more, and it's like, and so because of that, you have like a little bit more of like a dynamic going on, which like I don't know, like I see what you're saying of like it kind of softens the blow of like the of him being Bob evil, but like
Mm-hmm.
and like the things that he does where it's like I like that just because like I think it provides more drama, like there's more like dramatic tension going on of like you
Mm-hmm.
know this man is evil, but
Mm-hmm.
like it's papa and I must please papa
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
that is a very normal want and need to do and to have, and so it's like that's why I think I really think it's because the writing like is pretty much the same, at least in this part, but it's like I think it's really Peter Dinklage and Charles Dance, like they just provide such a different level and like a different layer that the book is just not disinterested in, just like that's just not what the book be doing, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's a different medium, and so I think that's an interesting, just sort of different flavor of like it is purely vibes based, like nothing
Yeah.
significant is different in terms of like plot wise what's going on with these characters. I mean, I'm sure maybe there is later on, I don't know, but like,
No, no, but like again, I'm like I don't want to like skip ahead is what I'm like trying not to do. It's like I feel like there are plot points that we reach in the TV show that people don't look at with like the same amount of horror as they should because of like who is doing it here versus like when Tywin in the books like breaks like fundamental laws of nature, everyone is like, dude, that you can't do that. And
but
it like
But when Senpei Dance does it, then we're like, ah, Senpei, like,
yeah, exactly. So like I feel like just like the level of horror that we're supposed to get from certain things just sometimes gets like downgraded a little bit. And again, this is not to say that we're not getting anything in exchange for it. I agree, like the performances and like the depth that they add is like fascinating and so enjoyable to watch as a viewer. Like I love those two perform like Charles Dance and Peter Dinklage, especially like in like the first four seasons where like both of them are there. Those performances are insane. Some of my favorite I've ever seen in television. It's just like it's interesting. Like again, just like what I said, like what do you gain versus what do you lose? Because there, and this isn't to say that like mistakes were made in like how they were adapted. Not at all. Because I love those portrayals, but it when we get there, you'll know it's fine. Everything's
fine,
fine.
cool, great, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's all I
Cool.
got.
Cool.
That's all I got. It was a
Great.
nice, simple little chapter about
Yeah.
daddy,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
papa, pleasing. Look, I brought home barbarians. Chapter. Like,
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, so ironically, since we've been talking about this, the our question for the week. Okay, so if you were tasked with casting, like if they were doing like a new version of the show, if they're like rebooting it, whatever, who is like the one actor that you would bring back from the original and just like say fuck it, like we're not recasting this role, it needs to be you again.
Oh, Sean Bean.
Ooh.
Sean
God,
Bean.
and he's like so too old now. Like he was so too old the first time around, but like now, like Sean Bean, like close to 70 years old. It's
I don't
fine. I don't
care.
care. I
I
don't
don't
care.
care.
I don't
Put a
care.
wig
He's so
on.
good.
Put a wig. Put him in a wig. Like it's fine. It's fine.
You use that creepy like de-aging shit
Oh
for
yeah.
like the Hollywood movies on him. Yeah. Do it. Do it. Turn him give us that uncanny valley Sean Bean. Absolutely. That's a great one. I am going to say think the I think the one that I think is like perfect and really I don't want anyone else doing is Varys. I want Conleth Hill playing Varys like every day of my life for the rest of eternity. I'd never want a different actor doing that
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Our queen. Our
Our queen.
queen. Our mermaid
Yeah.
queen.
We should put Conleth. Okay, here's for the artists out there. Um, I want a pride flag. I want a pride flag. It's rainbow, but I need it to be Varys as a mermaid on a rainbow pride flag. This is what I want. Also, I want it to be the really inclusive pride flag. Don't give me just the bullshit like whatever 6 or 7 stripes.
Yeah.
Like no, I want like the triangle. I want like the with
Yeah.
like all the trans people. I want all the bears, everything, all of it. Okay.
Oh no! Pride art with each of the different characters of Game of Thrones being one of the different like letters in the alphabet.
Yes, I love that.
Wait, who's the lesbian? Who's the lesbian?
Who's a
Wait,
lesbian?
oh, the Greyjoy, the girl Greyjoy.
Yes. So she is in the show. She's not really in the book.
Oh.
We got lesbians in the book. Who's the lesbian in the book?
Well, we got the Pirate Queen
Fuck.
from House of the Dragon. The Pirate Queen, she's a lesbian.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know because they're. I don't know how that character. I am a little confused by just like what they identify as. I think they identify as a man, but they're being played by a trans woman. But I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, no, I don't think I only think
I don't think anyone's supposed to know, and that's fine.
I think the only one who knows is her. Like she's the only one who understands what's going on.
Yes.
Sound off in the comments. Who is each of the letters? Who is each of the letters?
Oh, I mean, John is bi. John is the bisexual flag.
Oh yeah.
John. I can't wait till we get to book 3, Spicer, and you get to experience Jon Snow's bi panic in real time.
Yes.
I'm so excited. It's gonna be good. But okay, great. So yeah, we casted our reboot. We have decided what the pride task is for all the artists who listen.
Yeah. Make us smart. Make us smart.
Yeah, but I do want the Varys flag. I do want that Varys pride flag. Don't you forget about that.
Yeah, don't
and then Spicer, what's your favorite death this week?
Actually, you know what? It's not yet, but it's pending. The wine vendor.
I was gonna say, like, I'm like he's dead soon. So I've.
It's just when. It's just a matter of when.
Oh god. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I do have someone. I do, and it was so made me sad and uncomfortable. The innkeeper when they get back to the crossroads.
That's right. Yeah.
Because that was just like it was just such a sad detail because like Catelyn had remembered her in her memories like from when she was like a little girl and she's like always chewing that like sour leaf and then like oh this is how she ends up. That's depressing. This is what war is. Yay.
Don't live in the Riverlands.
Don't live in the Riverlands for fuck's sake anywhere else. Anywhere. But yeah, that's all I got. So I just want to remind everyone, please make sure you are leaving any comments for questions you want us to answer during the podcast. We really enjoy them, especially when they're fun and whimsical like they were this week. Also, make sure that you are liking, subscribing, leaving a review, 5 stars, doing all the things to help podcasts grow.
Share
Yeah,
with everyone.
Share, just like make your friends who've never read a chapter be like, listen to this right here. It's for you. And it's Pride Month, so if you don't do that, you're homophobic. Yeah. So yeah, And yeah, you're all awesome. Thank you. Next week. Fuck. Our chapters for next week. See? I knew I was forgetting something. I'm doing great. Damn it. Okay. Our chapters for next week are Sansa V, Eddard XV, and Catelyn IX. So be prepared, read along if you want, or just listen to us yap. We hope you have a wonderful week, and say goodbye, Spicer.
Goodbye, Spicer.